日は両者から2019今年の開幕戦ここ鈴鹿インスタート。今回もたくさんの企業の皆様のお力をいただいております。ご紹介をさせていただきます。メインスポンサー、チリーショッツから、続いてはスポンサーです。エレフィスから、バレンティーから、横浜から、クリジストーンから、ランドックから、ケンドから、グッドライドから、グッドユーアから、加藤とマネージャーから、RSR から、ブリットから、エビリルから、ホイールから、小倉クラッチから、トップツールから、エイズから、プロジェクト A から、リードから、CPS から、スイフトから、アップガレージから、風間オートサービスから、リールレーシングから、トレジャーワーカンパニーから、そしてリーファックスから、ここについて J スポーツから、日韓スポーツから、そしてご協力、ここ、鈴鹿インスタートからでございます。皆様お疲れ様で、本当にありがとうございます。さあ、この後9時40分から、いよいよトップ30トーナメントがスタートです。
実証雨に強いタイヤ。横浜は濡れた路面であなたの想像以上に止まる、止まる、止まる。日本最高グレードのウェット性能 A をあなたの車に。雨に強いタイヤといえば
横浜。
革新の
カーボンベゼル。Bluetooth 搭載 G-SHOCK カシオ。The brightness called brilliant. Valentine.
Quality of Japanese craftsmanship. Grid.
What's up, guys? It's Frederick Ospo, and I use RSR suspension on all my drift cars. I love RSR. Ego RSR Ichiban.
剣だ。
伝統と革新、小倉クラッチのテクノロジーを凝縮、チャンピオンを取るためのクラッチ、小倉レーシングクラッチ ORC。
モティ
ちょっといろいろ喋る音のレベルみたいからいろいろ喋り続けて。
The brightness called brilliant, blinding and vivid. Valentine.
実証雨に強いタイヤ。横浜は濡れた路面であなたの想像以上に止まる、止まる、止まる。日本最高グレードのウェット性能 A をあなたの車に。雨に強いタイヤといえば
横浜。
革新のカーボンベゼル。Bluetooth 搭載 G-SHOCK カシオ。The brightness called brilliant. Valentine.
Quality of Japanese craftsmanship. Grid.
What's up, guys? It's Frederick Ospo, and I use RSR suspension on all my drift cars. I love RSR. Ego RSR Ichiban.
剣だ。
伝統と革新、小倉クラッチのテクノロジーを凝縮、チャンピオンを取るためのクラッチ、小倉レーシングクラッチ ORC。
Motis.
The brightness, called brilliant, blinding and vivid. Valenti.
Evening, wherever you may be, across the nation, around the world. I'm Ryan Sage alongside Ryan Lantane, and we are here at the G-Shock Presents Formula Drift Japan, round one at Suzuka Twin Circuit. This is in Mie Prefecture. Ryan, as we kick things off and get a shot from above, the fans watching online will be able to see that the clouds are in and around the area, but there is no scheduled rain. There's a nice cross breeze going on. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day of drifting. We had qualifying yesterday, which was pretty exciting. We started off with 46 drivers, then 43 due to some DNFs. We whittled that down to 32. What was your take of the 2019 class of 2019 yesterday in qualifying?
It had I guess it was a mixed bag yesterday. Some things that we talked about yesterday, we expected some great driving from certain drivers, and maybe we expected less from other drivers, and sometimes we got the opposite of what we expected. But overall, I think we ended up with some great qualifying runs. The scores certainly reflected that. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drivers get scores in the 90s yesterday, so that was pretty great. And then below that, a lot in the 80s. The majority of them were in the 80s, and then we had a few in the low to high 70s. So some pretty good scores. I think we're seeing scores ramping up in all the series that we attend. You know, we're getting a lot more drivers in the 90s. It seems like drivers are much more capable of getting into those higher scoring brackets.
Well, we'll get into the top 10 qualifiers. So we have a very special surprise in addition in our production this weekend. We have a pit reporter for you guys this weekend, and she does speak English, so let's introduce her to all the fans watching Formula Drift Japan.
Hello everyone! I am support girl of Formula Drift Japan 2019. My name is Yuina Sakura. It's nice to meet you, so please remember me. Okay, so today I will ask the driver some questions about something like what is today's game plan or something like that. So I'm so excited to watch the game. So let's start it. Okay, back to you guys.
All right, so Yuina Sakura is going to be our pit reporter this afternoon. We've had some time to spend with her and her friends at dinners, and she's a Bronx and San Gabriel Valley girl.
Yeah.
Is the time that she spent in the United States. That's where she picked up the English. So we'll be checking in with her from time to time and getting some insight from her. It'll be an exciting new addition to the broadcast team. And Ryan, as we prepare to get into the top 32, I think we're going to see the top 10 runs from yesterday. And as those come up, give us some insight to what you guys saw from these top 10 drivers.
Yeah, so Ogane, he scored an 88 in his highest qualifying score. And then we have Miyoshi here scoring an 89. That's in that R34 Skyline. The top drivers were all very capable of getting into outside zone 1, getting the car to angle pretty quickly. This is Saito, scored a 90. So 90 points was scored on this run. You can see that outside zone 2 is going to be very important today as it was yesterday. The drivers that had the top scores definitely were able to get in there. This is Yamashita in that JZX 100. This was a score of 90 as well. Looking at that outside zone 2 again, able to get in there. Sheng Nian, another 90 score. You can see he overshot that outside zone 2, so very confident in getting his car out to that zone. But despite getting out there, you could see that transition at outside zone, inside clip 2, phenomenal. Benjamin Chiam from Singapore, 91 he scored on this run, so very good on outside zone 2 as well. And then did a great job through the rest of the course also. We've seen a lot of guys with great transitions there from inside clip 1 to inside clip 2. Masuyama, who's really great at qualifying in general. You can see he left outside zone 2 a little bit early there, but for the most part, great aggressive driving. Transitions look phenomenal. That was a score of 95 on that run. And then this is Ueo. Look at this initiation from Ueo. Right on the wall, pretty much 90 degrees there. Filled outside zone 2 really well. This is a score of 95 also in that S15. Great through the finish line as well. And then we have Yanaguida in second qualifying position with a 96. So close. So close. Looking at initiation, really great as well. Perfect line there through outside zone 2. Great drive from Yanaguida. His first score was an 83, so he jumped up to a 96 in this second run there and looked really great doing it. And then, of course, we have Andrew Gray, the #1 qualifier, with a score of 97, right along the wall. So buttery smooth throughout the course. On throttle everywhere. You can see tons of smoke coming out of that thing as evidence of that throttle. Look at that transition. Just looks so settled, so controlled, and so in just comfortable in the car, you know, which was not the case last year. He only finished in 3rd overall last year, which was a big change from his previous 3 finishes during the previous 3 seasons where he had some championships under his belt. So I think he had a little bit of a struggle with that car last year, but definitely cleaned it up in that first and second qualifying runs yesterday. He had a 93 and a 97.
You guys spent quite a bit of time. You were very explicit in your instructions in the drivers' meeting, and you were particularly vocal about what the style judge was looking for. And I think drivers really listened to you guys because the style judge, Andy Yen, actually gave 2 perfect scores in his category yesterday, from maybe more than that. 4 perfect scores.
He did. The top 4 qualifiers all had perfect style scores.
And that is relatively rare, is it not?
It is rare. You don't see a lot of perfect qualifying style scores just because of the broad spectrum of what it covers, and it's easy to make mistakes in that segment especially. You know, you can be perfect online, you can have great angle, but the style side of things, when it comes to fluidity and commitment, it's easy to find errors. But yesterday, those top 4 qualifiers were definitely not making those errors. You could see the way they throw the car into outside zone 1 and then 2. That would kind of set the tone for the whole run. And Andy is, like I said yesterday, pretty strict when it comes to style. Out of the 3 judges that we have here, the 3 judges that we have in the U.S., I would say he's got a very keen eye for every little thing that happens on track, and he doesn't generally give drivers an inch when it comes to the scores.
Well, let's rock and roll here. Our first battle of the afternoon is that gentleman representing Scotland but residing here in Japan, Andrew Gray and Ima Maeda. Andrew Gray will take the lead, and Ima Maeda will chase him down. We'll get it live and then show you some replays and break down our first run here in the top 32. Andrew Gray out the gate. Nice initiation right on the edge, but Ima Maeda closing on him and starting to see a little bit of separation as they came together there from outside zone 2. And there's Andrew Gray. Ima Maeda needing to cut the line a little bit to gain back proximity. And a strong start here in the top 32 as we wrap up the first part of this 2-run battle.
So you can see as they leave the line, Ima Maeda is doing a good job of staying relatively close to Andy, which is pretty impressive. A little bit of separation there, but stayed pretty close to him. He did, in the chase position there, Ima Maeda kind of missed outside zone 1, took a more direct line to outside zone 2. But you can see that he does have to cut a little bit here and there to keep up. Andrew Gray's running that Tomei 3.6 liter 2JZ, and from what I've seen, Yamada's running an SR20, so there has to be a pretty significant difference in power there, and Yamada is doing his best to keep up to Andrew Gray throughout this run. So you can see that Yamada, the car's moving around a little bit in the chase position, and he is kind of taking those tighter lines where he has to try to maintain that proximity, but he's doing a pretty good job of it while making a couple of mistakes. He's actually making an effort. You know, he's got some aggressive driving there to try to maintain proximity.
The head-to-head matchups, the tandem battles, they are really about what sacrifices do you want to make in both positions, right? The lead driver, it's pretty straightforward. You're going for that 100-point qualifying run. The chase driver, you really have to follow him like a moving clipping point. But if you need to make those sacrifices in order to, say, gain proximity, you may want to do that. Here we go, second run. Andrew Gray trying to close here as even Maeda falls off a little bit, does not get into that second outside zone, leaves the door open as he goes wide into inside clip number 1, and that allows Andrew Gray to close the door here, keeping proximity on through the finish line. The 2 standing yellow cones indicating where the scoring ends. Let's go back to you, Ryan, and give us a breakdown here of run number 2.
Well, you made a really good point earlier. The lead driver, they already have everything set up for them. They need to run that 100-point qualifying run. The chase driver has to adapt, and in this case, Andrew Gray adapted really well, and you can see here that he actually followed Imamada's line. Imamada missed outside zone 2. Andrew Gray followed him. He didn't try to run that wide line. He actually went where Imamada was going, and that's what we tell the drivers as well, is you need to follow the lead driver even if they're making an error, even if they're making a mistake, they're going offline, and potentially chasing them offline like that will give you a big advantage, because you're showing that not only can you run your lead run accurately where you've practiced and where you are comfortable running, but in the chase position you can actually adapt and go offline and still get through the course and stay close to that lead driver.
And that can show some really high level skill, especially when you talk about the split-second reactions that are needed when you're watching the vehicle, its attitude in front of you, and whether or not you can anticipate from initiation, hey, this guy's going to be short on a tighter line on outside zone number 2.
Exactly.
And there we go, Andrew Gray, a victory here. All 3 judges sliding to the right-hand side. Our other 2 judges next to Ryan Lantane are Andy Yen and Robbie Nishida. Robbie Nishida is also doing co-commentating on the Japanese side, so if you're watching the English version of the stream, you want to switch over to the Japanese side, you can go to formulad.jp and listen to the beautiful voice of Robbie Nishida. Our setup up here is Ryan and I up in the commentating box, Andy Yen right in the middle, and Robbie off to the left-hand side. So this is the perspective that we see. And now we head down to our second battle. Kenji Yamada, Daisuke Hara. Yamada taking the lead. Nice initiation up against the wall, lets it float out. And Dada trying to close the door here. Another driver going wide at inside clip number 1, leaving the door open for Hara. He doesn't fully take advantage of it. However, a couple little mistakes there, and you can see the spin way past the finish line. Let's head back to the start line and take a look at this run one more time.
Both these drivers had a 33 in their higher qualifying score in terms of style. So that means that they're both kind of equal in terms of how they're going to approach outside zone 1 and outside zone 2 with the commitment level. You can see that Yamada there gets out wide to outside zone 2. He did come in a little bit slower than some of the other drivers. He looked like he hesitated slightly there, but did get to outside zone 2, and that's kind of what's important, you know, the line that you're looking to run. And it gave, you could see there, the chase driver not filling it quite as well in the beginning, but you could see that he kind of closed the door a little bit there. The lead car Yamada did not get to outside inside clip 1 very well, had to try to reach in for it, and the chase driver actually spun just past the finish line through that run. But as long as you make it through that finish line, we're pretty happy with what you're doing there, as long as you stay in control through that finish line and you're showing that you can complete the course.
All right, so switching things up here, and Ryan, I'm very interested to see the outcome of these battles, but one thing that's been noticeable in FD Japan over the years is really the diversity of vehicles, even within the Japanese makes. And we've got 4-doors that do well, we've got all the S chassis, we even have a European Audi A5 competing this weekend, but really where the diversity seems to shine is in the tire manufacturers.
Yeah.
A lot of tire manufacturers, and
I believe there are 12 this round?
I heard 12, 13.
Yeah, a lot.
And one of the manufacturers, Valino, actually was able to take home 8 of the top 10 qualifiers. So we'll keep an eye on the tire battle here as we switch things up. Hara in the lead position right up against the wall, but big e-brake pull really decels into outside zone number 2. Yamada was able to adjust and stay with him. Oh, but he makes a mistake as he pulls some angle out at inside clip number 1. And maybe that opportunity was lost at inside clip 1 there. A big e-brake pull from Hara. I'd love to get your take on this run here, run number 2.
Yeah, so we're looking for a lot of fluidity throughout the course. We're looking for commitment as well. We want the drivers to really use the momentum of their vehicle to fill those zones. And it looks here like Hara was not able to get to outside zone 2 the way he wanted to. He had a huge handbrake pull. Not a lot of smoke off the tires. Kind of slowing up where he shouldn't be slowing. So we're going to have to take that into account when it comes to looking at who's at fault for that straighten there. There's going to be an action, and there generally will be a reaction to what's happening on track when it comes to lead and chase. So we're going to have to try to see who's at fault for making that move. Was it the chase driver that's simply at fault for not mimicking the lead driver right, or was it the lead driver that slowed where he shouldn't have? And we're going to have to look at that before we make our call.
Now might be a good time, unless you got to move over to another monitor. You do? Okay. What I was going to ask Ryan is, we have the decel map that we use pretty regularly in the U.S. competition, and Ryan was mentioning yesterday that for this track, there really aren't too many decel areas. In fact, there's not really a marked decel map at all for this track, because it's pretty much full throttle all the way through. We will see some decel on initiation, but not even really there, because most of the drivers have gone full throttle into initiation, a little bit of a flick, and then right into the wall. We have seen some crashes take place at outside zone number 2, right in front of the judges' stand here, where drivers have pushed a little bit too hard. Most of the damage that we saw yesterday was pretty much cosmetic. The tire wall did its job. However, most of the qualifying runs that were separated from the 80s to 90s, and most of the battles that we've seen here in the past seem to be won from initiation to outside zone 1 and outside zone 2. The S section of the course, where we do see some drivers push a little bit wide and inside clip number 1, seems to be relatively easy for most of the drivers of this caliber. And Ryan, as we bring you back in, I was just talking about, you know, the pretty much the lack of a decel zone on this course.
Right.
Maybe you could just spend a little bit of time and also let us know what you talked about with the other judges in terms of asserting fault.
Yeah, this track is very minimal in terms of decel zone. Really just at the initiation, there's a slight one there, but people, the drivers need to get back on throttle so quickly. If you're not on throttle, you're going to have a problem. Oh, look at that. We have a split decision. I think it comes down to how we're really looking at the spin. We're looking at the reinitiation, the straighten, and we're looking at some of the other errors that are made on track. You know, one driver didn't really do that great in outside zone 1, and one didn't do that well in outside zone 2. One had to kind of reinitiate after that straighten there, so it comes down to a mixed bag of errors. So
while we wait for this, real quick, make the case for your score real quick. You went with Yamada, right?
Yamada, yeah. I looked at the fact that I'm getting mixed up in my names here. Hara had to make that slight correction, I guess, and that's what made it for me.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, so one more time battle, split decision here. Mistakes from both drivers.
Red flag, red flag.
And it looks like we have the red flags coming out. That's going to mean a false start. And that will be a strike. It looks like it is against All right, that'll be a strike on Shuya Saito, car number 408, taking on Tomoki Tanaka, car number 5. 3 Saitos in competition, no Daigo.
So that was a jump start.
So we got a strike on Saito, 3 strikes are out, and here we go. Clean start this time around. Keeping it close is Tanaka on the initiation. He's on a tighter line here, however, making an adjustment in the front wheels. Comes off a little bit early on that second outside zone is Saito. Saito going very wide at inside clip 1. We're seeing that regularly happen, and a little bit of reduction of angle there from Tanaka. So seeing some mistakes from both drivers. They were close coming out of the gate, and then there was a little bit of separation. And Ryan, on this second outside zone. It looks like Tanaka really lost the line there. Let's take a look again.
Yeah, these battles are all going to come down to outside zone 2, and you can see that the lead driver here has no depth whatsoever in outside zone 2. Missed it entirely. The chase driver is trying to adapt to what that lead driver is doing, and although we do give big props to drivers in the chase that do adapt to the lead when they go offline, we don't really punish the chase driver when the lead driver makes a mistake like that. You know, we're not saying that you have to be perfect in the chase when the lead is not great and is not giving you an easy lead to follow. So you can see there he's trying to get himself positioned, but clearly having a hard time with kind of the unorthodox line that the lead driver is taking, not really filling the zones, not getting to the clips, and it's not easy to follow a lead car when they're going offline like that.
All right, so switching things up, Tanaka now will take the lead. I have to imagine from the behavior that we saw from Tanaka in the chase, his car's probably going to be pretty quick here. It seems like as he was getting close, he was having to kind of unwind a little bit because of the tighter line that Saito was on.
Right.
So let's switch it up. Tanaka in the lead, snaps to it right at the edge of outside zone 1, and already a gap established here. He's shooting out wide. He may go outside of inside clip 1 as well, but it is no matchup here. Saito is way far behind and not able, and the power difference, grip difference, very evident there, Ryan, and really no chase at hand there on run number 2.
Exactly. So now you're looking, the chases were both poor. You can say that right off the bat without any kind of further analysis, but looking at the lead to lead, if you look at the way the lead driver here actually fills zone 1, he gets his tire in the box for outside zone 2, which is way better than the S15 driver did in his lead run. Of course, the lead driver now missing inside clip 2 or inside clip 1, but so did the other driver. So it becomes a kind of a grouping of mistakes here, but which one did a better job of making the least amount of.
Right. So if you were just going off of an on-off switch, you could say the chases were a wash, basically, right?
Yep.
And who had the better lead?
Who had the better lead?
It seems like Tanaka had the better lead.
I would say that is correct. So we have our votes in now. Here Andy talking to Kevin over there at the start line area. We're always relaying information back and forth, but we'll see what happens.
All right, so here we go. Let's go to the judges, make it official. Tomoki Tanaka gets a unanimous decision here. All 3 judges going that direction. He will take out Shoya Saito, and he will be done for the day.
So that is an upset. That's the 25th qualifier taking out the 8th place qualifier.
Next battle up, Hayato Miyoshi, Tetsuya Iha. A nice battle here of some veterans of Formula Drift Japan. Both drivers coming in with some good competition history. However, the qualifying results vastly different. Miyoshi in that number 9 spot, and Tetsuya Iha, while had a very aggressive day, came in at 24. Here we go. Miyoshi taking the lead. Watch this initiation. He tends to go big here. Iha right behind him. Oh, boy. Snapped it to the wall. I almost thought maybe he was going to hit the wall, but really played it well. Look at Iha on the inside there. Very aggressive in the chase. Falls back, and he goes off course. Two tires off. Hits that last inside clip. And Ryan, let's take a look at that. A lot of action on course there between Miyoshi and Iha.
Well, that was exciting to watch. So that R34, Miyoshi's always doing a great job of initiating. Pretty snappy on the wall. Did a great job here. You can see that right rear tire right on the line. Can't get any better than that. Pretty decent job from that point on, but run a little bit wide there. You can see the chase driver struggling. Yes, definitely opposite drift there in that section. So that'll be an incomplete for the chase driver, unfortunately. Iha was trying hard to stay close, but you could see that just couldn't match what the lead driver was doing there. So you see Miyoshi nice and wide, and Iha missed outside zone 1. Did a pretty good job on 2, got kind of ahead of Miyoshi there right at inside clip 1, and just couldn't keep it together through the rest of the track, unfortunately.
Really good vantage point there from the drone overhead, able to keep both cars in frame and give you an idea of what's going on in real time from that perspective. So we will switch things up. Miyoshi will now chase down Iha as we wait for the light to drop. As you mentioned, Kevin Wells, our competition director, is here in the hot pits as well. We receive information from him on what's going on. Definitely helps with the translation He's got a bunch of guys that are working together back there to make sure that we can get as much clear information as possible back up to the tower to communicate to you guys that are watching on the live stream, but also to help the judges in the case of any competition timeouts or any occurrences that happen on the course that are relevant.
And right now we're waiting for cones to be picked up because Iha did hit inside clip 2 and he went 4 wheels off at the finish line and blasted over the finish line cones. So they've just been picking all of that up. I think a couple of cones got destroyed, so they were picking up plastic pieces, and it looks like they've got everything back in place now, so we should be ready to go.
All right, looks like the corner workers are back in a safe position, and the light is off. Iha in the lead. Let's take a look at the initiation here. How does he approach? Kind of a straight line. Snaps it, but he misses outside zone 1. Miyoshi's going to make him pay for it here. He's keeping it pretty close as they wrap around inside clip 1. Now Iha on the throttle and a bit of separation there. And again, another mistake in the lead position prior to the finish line. Ryan, Iha having some trouble with that section of the course in both the lead and the chase.
So your thoughts immediately go to, was the chase driver having a hard time keeping up to the lead, and is that way they made those mistakes at inside clip 2 in the finish line? But then in the lead, he goes and makes the exact same mistakes in the exact same spots. So clearly it's an issue with trying to get through the course, maybe a car issue. You can see he's on throttle here. He did miss outside zone 2, but just transitioned way too early. He ended up going 2 wheels off at the exact same spot, going wide at the finish line. He managed to avoid the finish line cones this time, but essentially lead and chase were a wash for Iha because he made such drastic mistakes in both the lead and chase in both positions on the track.
All right, another unanimous vote going in the direction of Hayato Miyoshi, car 3-4-4, moving on into the top 16. He will face Tomoki Tanaka when we finish the top 32. Moving right along to our next battle, and I have to say, Ryan, that the expectations probably are the highest for this next driver. Wataru Masuyama has had an incredible storied history in the past year with regards to his qualifying runs. He's had a number of number 1 qualifications. However, the results in the head-to-head matchups have not really come up as at that same level. And he's going to be taking off a pretty strong driver here. Even though the qualifying results don't show it, Manabu Fujinaka is our 29th ranked driver, and it looks like we do have a little bit of a cold track here at the moment, as Tetsuya Iha looks like he is calling for assistance. So we'll get back to the run at hand here, but we first need to find out what's going on here with Tetsuya Iha.
So the two drivers we have up now, Masuyama and Fujinaka. Masuyama is driving that S15 with a stroke 2JZ. He's from Tochigi. And then Manabu Fujinaka is from Tokushima. He's driving the FD3S with a 3-rotor rotary there, the 20B. So we've got 2 very different setups here. 2 very different drivers from 2 very different areas of the country. I don't know where those are, those 2 cities, but Robbie helped me figure out where everybody's from. And I'm going to help try to pass that on to you guys. So Tochigi and Tokushima.
Industry research.
Oh, yes. So interesting where these guys finished last season. Fujinaka, I think, only did 1 or 2 events last year. Out of all the drivers that did compete in FG Japan last year, he finished around 60th last season, but Masuyama finished in 6th position. So you can see the damage on Iha's car, which is clearly from going off the track. I don't know how smooth the grass is on the outside of the finish line over there, but it looks like it's pretty rough, judging by the damage on his car.
Yeah. Yeah, this is, I think this is the 4th year that we've been coming to Suzuka Twin. Beautiful racetrack. It's very small relative to, say, something like Fuji, but nicely positioned for a drifting event. It's about a 6-hour drive, roughly. Well, 6-hour drive for us.
For us, yeah, we take our time. Maybe 4 hours for a normal person?
From Tokyo, and that's where we drove from. Beautiful surroundings, forest all over. We're actually really close to the main Suzuka circuit as well.
Yeah.
The infamous Formula 1 circuit.
I did visit there a couple of years ago. It was nice.
Yeah. So Tetsuya Iha being taken off track. We've just released another 4 vehicles on course for their head-to-head matchups, including Benjamin Chiam, who is really coming on strong this year so far in qualifying. He'll be our 3rd battle up after the next 2.
Shinji Manoa was there in his new JZX90 as well. The car looks identical to, oh wow, look at that.
There we go. We got some
wheel breakage.
Yeah.
Oof, that's ugly.
That was spinning a few minutes ago.
Right. Now it is just damaging the track. Hopefully they can avoid, yeah, you can see smoke coming up. Looks like from the, not from the tire, well, maybe from the tire, maybe from the wheel digging into the asphalt as well. I'm sure the track people will love that, but you got to get that thing off there so we can do our next battle. Masuyama and Fujinaka.
All right, so now we're seeing some cars come to the line. I see the first car up.
So let's see some areas of opportunity here. Fujinaka qualified 29th. His style score was 32, so that's out of 40. Line was 22 and angle was 23. Masuyama had a perfect 40 on style, 28 on angle, and 27 on line. So it looks like Masuyama, if he can put together the same type of run.
This is a different set of drive.
Oh, we're actually going to do
the one more
the
time.
one more time. Never mind.
Going back to the one more time, if you're just joining us here, Kenji Yamada and Daisuke Hara. It was a split decision in the most split way possible. One judge to the left, one judge to the right, and one judge one more time. Let's see what's going on here. Yep, same thing.
They're ready to go.
Here we go. Yamada taking off, and we've got a false start.
Let's see if I can get some feedback here.
So it sounds like, as Ryan is talking to Andy Yen, who's on radio with Kevin Wells, that it was a false start on Yamada. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, the lead driver did hit a cone.
All right, so lead driver taking a strike in run number 1. And heading back to regrid one more time.
S15 versus S15.
Yes, we only get this treat maybe 3 options. You got Wang and Worthhouse.
The 2 Worthhouse cars, yeah.
All right, let's do it again. Looks like we do have a clean start. Yamada heading into the middle of the course. Early initiation just at the edge of outside zone 1. Lets it float out. Similar battle to last time around, but Hara this time is keeping a little bit closer in the chase position. Less mistakes being made. And a good start there, a much cleaner battle. We saw Yamada just get to the outside section of outside zone 1. Let's take a look one more time and see how he did through the rest of the course.
So you can see MJ Style taking a slight jump on start there, which they're totally allowed to do. Missed that outside zone 1 a little bit, right on the edge of outside zone 2, the lead driver. Chase driver's doing a great job of mimicking here. You can see that transition right there, perfect timing. Proximity could be a little bit better. Hopefully we have a view from the drone, and there it is. So Yamada in the lead position. Yeah, a little bit off the wall there. I'd like to see him closer to the wall, but of course, Hara in the chase position, mimicking pretty well. You can see that Hara actually had more angle than Yamada did at inside clip 1. So the chase driver was doing a better job. And sometimes when we talk about that in the meeting, we say, you know, if the chase driver has more angle than the lead driver, and people go, when does that ever happen? But it clearly does happen from time to time. And it looks great when they're able to outdrive the lead driver from the chase position, which is pretty great.
All right, so here we go. The second half of the battle, Daisuke Hara versus Kenji Yamada. Opting for a more straight line approach is Hara, but deep into that outside zone, off throttle for a second, now back on. And good anticipation there by Yamada, who got in the pocket. Now a little bit of a slight reduction in the chase position, trying to close that door. And I think that that's going to be more apparent from the overhead shot from the drone in the section from inside clip 1 to inside clip 2 in the chase position. But Ryan, let's break this down here, run number 2.
So Hara on the lead position here is doing a great job. Look at how close he is to the wall at outside zone 1. A bit of a handbrake pull there, but manages to fill outside zone 2. So much better right off the start there for the lead driver. Pretty good job through the inside clips as well. You can see the reduction in angle from Yamada in the chase position through inside clip number 2. So it did make some sacrifices. So let's watch from the drone now. You can see they're nice and tight on the wall. Fills outside zone 2 really well. Chase position, less angle, but good proximity. You can see here the lead driver doing a great job through inside clip 1, and the sacrifices are pretty clear in the chase position there from the drone view, which is very helpful.
All right, so judges' scores starting to drop and get locked in here on this one more time battle, a good one. And I think the second battle definitely paid dividends to us as the fans here. An exciting succession of 2 runs. As we wait for the scores to come in, we see Wataru Masuyama at the line, car 530, but our number 4 qualifier. And like we said, big expectations on his shoulders. Here we go, scores are in. 1 for Hara, and a one more time score, and another split decision. You guys are going crazy today on this one. But yeah, another split decision. One judge leading. I don't even think we've ever seen that before. 2 split decisions in a row. All right, so we fail to find a victor in that run. And Ryan, I was just saying, have we ever seen 2 split decisions back to back?
I'm not sure, Ryan. That doesn't happen very often. I was just talking to them about the reason for their decisions, and I based it mainly on the lead getting way out to outside zone 1 and 2. Anyway, we'll go up to this next battle.
Masuyama in the lead, big swooping initiation right up against the wall, floats it out. Oh no, we might, ooh, very, very close in the chase position was Fujinaka going into the wall, and you can see how devastating a quality lead run can be, putting the pressure on the chase driver to match the form of the lead.
This is what we talk about in the drivers' meetings. You lay down that really top qualifying lead lap, it's going to be really hard to chase, and it's going to be hard for that other driver to mimic. Look at that initiation. Could have been an outside zone 2 a little bit earlier, but did a pretty good job through there. Not a bad line into inside clip 1. Could have been a little tighter there, but overall, great lead run. And looks like the chase driver went off track there at the finish line. So watching this initiation, nice to outside zone 1. Pretty good on outside zone 2. Fujinaka there going off on outside zone 2. Great transition, and then just a lack of proximity, and yeah, it looks like he dropped at least a tire before hitting those cones.
So for Masuyama, the lead run, a solid start for him, and that obviously falls right in line with qualifying. He has not had issues there. It's on the chase, so this is what I'm really interested in seeing. I think he put himself in a good position. He gave himself a little bit of breathing room here, but let's follow him now as Fujinaka will take the lead position, more of a straight line approach. Early initiation, comes off outside zone 1 a little bit early. Masuyama trying to keep proximity, doing a pretty good job so far. Fujinaka through inside clip 1, transitioning back around to inside clip 2. Here comes Masuyama, pressure through the finish line, and I think it held up to expectations there, Ryan. Let's go back and take a look at it one more time.
Yeah, good job from Fujinaka on the initiation, but he did miss outside zone 2. So you see here, throws the car to angle. Not the most we've seen, but pretty solid there, but did not get to outside zone 2. Actually, the chase driver looked like he got deeper in outside zone 2. Masuyama doing a better job in the chase, and then Fujinaka looking like he is not able to fill that zone fully to its potential.
All right, so this one seemingly a little bit more clear-cut here as Masuyama passes the first test. It looks like he's going to make his way out of the top 32 and into the top 16 after 2 successive quality runs, and especially with that lead has been just really fun to watch. And we've got all 3 judges going in the favor of car number 530. Wataru Masuyama moves on in the top 16. All right, now heading back up to the start line, our next battle up is going to be once again the one more time. So the guys were ready, got tires on the vehicles pretty quickly. We'll get right to it. We've had 2 split decisions on this head-to-head matchup, and both drivers, along with all of us, really wanting to see a victor come through here. So they're going to be pushing hard. They're going to be trying to push a little bit more than they did those 2 previous battles. Oh, and I see Atsushi Taniguchi joining us here, former driver. All right, here we go. Kenji Yamada in the lead. Initiates just on the outside zone 1. Hara again following him pretty closely. A late apex on that inside clip by Yamada. Tiny bit of separation here towards the end. But overall, it looked like a much cleaner run there. Let's take a look one more time.
Looks like Yamada still having trouble getting to outside zone 2. So you can see on the initiation, chase car's right there. Hara's nice and close. Yeah, Yamada still not filling outside zone 2, but Hara staying close throughout the run. Right there, transitioning at the same time. Fell off a little bit right there, but for the most part, able to stay with stay with Yamada throughout the majority of the run.
Switching things up now, as we will see Daisuke Hara go to the lead position. Kenji Yamada going to the chase. This is your 16th and 17th qualifier, Ryan, so I guess living up to expectations of two evenly matched drivers here.
Yep.
With the 2 one more times. We're looking for somebody to edge out the other driver on this second run and make it clear and apparent.
Somebody lost all their paperwork at the start line. That's a shame. Blowing across the track. They're just going to pick it up. You can see it blowing across the track there, but they'll get it.
All right, looks like our starter heading back to his position now. There's always a lot of haste with the Japanese corner workers, which personally I just love because keeps the show going.
All right.
Set and ready to go.
So Hara right now has an opportunity to better in the lead position what Yamada did. If he can get closer to outside zone 1, fill outside zone 2, it's going to put him at an advantage, lead to lead in terms of filling those zones, which are so important to us as the judges.
Light goes off. Hara in the lead position. It's more of a straight line approach. Just at the edge of outside zone 1, but he does fill outside zone 2. He's going to push a little bit wide here. He'll leave the door open for Yamada, but Yamada not able to take advantage of it, and this time he goes off course at inside clip 2, and we're going to have to say that that is going to push the scales in the direction of Daisuke Hara.
Yeah, much better job in the lead position here by Hara. You can see that he did fill outside zone 1 pretty well on the wall, got to outside zone 2 as well. Tire right in the box all the way around, which is quite a bit better than what Yamada did in his lead run. And then, of course, the most obvious error here was Yamada dropping a tire and then kind of over-rotating as he goes across the finish line, taking that inside clip with him.
All right, who wants another one more time? Here we go. Let's make it official. It's going to go in favor of Daisuke Hara unanimously. He will move on into the top 16. So a nice effort by Kenji Yamada. Good back and forth battle between the 16th and 17th qualifiers. But we will now close the door and the books on those two drivers with Hara moving on. All right, up at the line now, we will see our third place qualifier and second place in the overall championship last year next to Mad Mike. That is Shinji Minowa. As you mentioned, Ryan, brand new vehicle, but nearly identical in look to the last year's car. He's going to be taking on our 20th place qualifier. No, yes.
Yes.
Akihiko Hiroshima, car number 67. I have like half printed numbers on my side. So Shinji has been quite a shining star in the Formula Drift Japan Championship, looking to continue that here with this brand new chassis. Let's take a look here as he heads down into initiation. Oh, a bit off outside zone 1 with a big e-brake pull here. So Shinji looking a little bit stale there on that initiation, but you can see the power and the grip of the vehicle allowing that separation there. So Ryan looks like he made a little bit of a mistake on outside zone 1. Didn't get fully out there. Let's take a look at this run one more time.
Yeah, he's not as accurate as we've seen him be in the past. Typically, he's pretty on point when it comes to putting his car where it needs to be. So you can see he's quite a bit off of outside zone 1 here. Had to really massage the car out to outside zone 2 with that handbrake. He has a pretty tight line coming inside clip 1, which is good, and manages to get through inside clip 2 pretty well. In the chase position, you can see Hiroshima trying to keep up, especially after inside clip number 1. So looking at the initiation, Hiroshima's there, slightly tighter line, but gets pretty close at inside clip 1. But you can tell that he did take that tighter line, and it kind of sent him a little bit wide after that clip. And that's where Shinji, with his really sticky Bridgestones, was able to pull ahead.
All right, so switching things up here, Akiko Hiroshima will now take the lead. An opportunity here for Shinji to shut it down with that really quick, powerful, and grippy vehicle. Many people talk about the grip of the Potenzas. Let's see if he can manage it here. He sweeps out wide. Hiroshima initiates right at the third standing cone. Does a pretty good job on outside zone 1. And right at the outside of zone 2. But Minowa keeping it tight, proximity good here through that final inside clip. It looks like he knew that he was going to have to reel him in towards the end there. Played that pretty well, Ryan. Let's take a look at it one more time.
Yeah, Shinji did a good job in the chase position, positioning his car, really mimicking what the lead driver was doing. So let's see Hiroshima here as he initiates, maybe slightly deeper in outside zone 1, but he kind of hesitated on initiation and didn't quite get out to outside zone 2 the way that Shinji did. Wider line here from the lead driver going to inside clip 1. It allows Shinji to really get in the right position. Shinji had slightly lower angle there, but I think he did a great job of matching and mimicking what the lead driver was doing.
All right, so taking another shot here from above. You'll see the attack here from Shinji Minowa.
You can see the angles matching pretty well. A couple of little bobbles there, but really in the right position with his car. You know, he's not trying to get ahead of the lead driver. He's positioning himself well and right in that kind of pocket behind the lead driver. So really good positioning from Shinji.
Things looking good for Shinji Minowa at first glance. Let's make it official as we swing it to the right for Shinji Minowa. He continues his winning ways. Car number 90 moving on into the top 16.
Next up, we have Benjamin Chiam, who qualified in 5th with a score of 90 in his Supra, going up against Tasaka, who qualified 28th. He had a score of 78.
Bit of a David and Goliath battle here from the outside, but we know that the vehicle of Tasaka, well built, pretty quick. But
it has a MR2 engine, the 3S GT from Toyota MR2 and that AE85.
Benjamin Chiam really impressing you guys yesterday. Came out of the gate with a very strong score of a 90 on his first run.
Very committed driver.
And then was able to back that up with a 91. So he will take the lead here against Tasaka. Inside line approach. Early initiation, lets it float out. E-brake pull, already pulling a gap. Rubber flying everywhere, even up here to the tower. And a huge gap being established. We're seeing Benjamin Chiam off to the races, and we'll want to watch his line overall. Ryan, it did not look like he was running away, just looked like a big power differential, grip differential there from Benjamin Chiam.
What it looked like to me was a poor timing from the chase driver of trying to get a jump on the start. He jumped and then got too far ahead and had to back off a bit, and then you can see right off the bat he's trying to play catch up, trying to keep up, but overshot from outside zone 2 to inside clip 1. And from there, it was just one mistake after another. You can see actually Benjamin making a mistake in the lead as well as he drops the tire just before inside clip 2. So let's see it from above. You can see that he did jump, which he's allowed to do in the chase position, but didn't time it very well, and it kind of got him off of his game. Let's watch Benjamin here as he comes by inside clip 1. Good job of running that tight line, but drops the tire there and kind of over-rotates a bit going by inside clip 2. So he didn't do a perfect lead run, but he wasn't trying to get away and was trying to fulfill his lead car responsibilities. But in the chase position there, Tasaka definitely made some errors of judgment in terms of when he should leave the line to try to get himself an advantage. Clearly there's a power difference here. That big stroke 2J that Benjamin's running up front against the that small 4-cylinder in the chase position from Tasaka.
All right, after a little cone abuse there, we are now set again. The finish line is back and ready to go. It'll be Tasaka in the lead position, Tomonori Tasaka. Benjamin Chiam will chase him down. Reeling to go here is Chiam. I have to imagine he's going to want to play this a bit strategically here and let Tasaka get out ahead a little bit, and he does, but Tasaka is going to go very wide. We're very close to the wall, too. He scratches the bumper on a bit of tire. Chiam now starting to reel him in here, and we got really close to a crash in outside zone 2, Ryan. A lot of momentum being carried after that initiation. You really can't fault him there. He knew he had to go for it, but he almost pushed too hard.
This is what I was speaking about in the driver's meeting. I said if that lead driver does really well, your spotter better tell you you've got to do better. And clearly here he's trying to go really deep in outside zone 2 and overshoots outside zone 2. Hits the first marker cone for the beginning of the zone, drops the tire through most of the zone, and kind of overshoots from there on. Gives Benjamin the opportunity to get in the chase position and into position and stay close. So you can see here from the drone, Benjamin definitely gave him some room right off the start. And then as he overshot, Benjamin was able to, on a tighter line, so it's looking at mistakes from both drivers, but the lead driver is the one that made the mistake first. So the chase driver in that sense is kind of wondering what's going to happen. So we've got all our scores in now. We're just going to wait for them to pop up on the screen. And we'll see who the winner is after this battle.
It's a really scary calculation to make if you think that a lead driver is going to go into the wall to more or less consciously follow him into the wall as well, right?
Exactly, and that's what we talk about in the meeting sometimes. We say, you need to chase the lead driver even if they go offline, but not in a dangerous area.
All right, so unanimous victory here for Benjamin Chiam. No surprises there. Tomonori Tasaka will bow out of competition, and Benjamin Chiam will now face the winner of these next two drivers here, Kazuya Matsukawa and Yoshihiro Takaki.
So it was kind of weird seeing the same car drive up to the start line immediately after that battle was over, but this is a different car. It's number 99, Matsukawa, and this one's powered by the 1GR. It's a 4-liter V6 turbo from the FJ Cruiser in the same chassis as the previous car, so that AE85 chassis, and it's an interesting setup and up against an S13.
Matsukawa taking the lead. Wow, and that was a really interesting approach from Takaki. Got out ahead of him. I think that's going to hurt him. He got out a bit ahead of Matsukawa, and it seemed to have an impact on the entire run, and he straightens out before the finish line right next to inside clip 1. Ryan, what happened here on the start?
Well, you can see number 13 jumping the light and getting himself positioned. I suppose he felt that he was going to be in the right area to initiate, but he ended up getting kind of psyched out by the lead doing his little flick, and he lost the battle immediately right there, just in the wrong position, the wrong timing, and you can see that he's trying to catch up. He ends up straightening and driving through inside clip 2 to the finish line. So unfortunately, he just got himself in the wrong position. You can see he's side by side at initiation pretty much, and had to get himself out of the way, and really missed everything on the track that he could possibly miss. Stalled out there quite a bit, and is trying to get back, but just doesn't have the momentum or the power to keep up, unfortunately.
And it looks like that's going to be an incomplete in the chase position, more or less officially from inside clip 1, right?
Exactly, yeah.
All right, so the second half of this battle, Kazuya Matsukawa and Yasuhiro Takaki. This time Takaki will take the lead. This is our 12th and 21st place qualifier. Second half underway. Takaki in the lead. Nice initiation, but really comes up short on outside zone 1. It looks like he was going big, trying to put it back in his court, and through a massive amount of angle from initiation, he ends up missing outside zone 1, but no lack of excitement there, Ryan. Let's take a look one more time.
Yeah, that S13 with SR20, which is something you don't see very often in competition anymore, really being aggressive on initiation, pretty much missed the entirety of outside zone 1 and just kind of touched the outside line of 2 by trying to go backwards through there, trying to, I guess, go big, right? Trying.
Yes.
Making an attempt.
Somebody made a comment in the chat, full YOLO.
Oh, you only live once. Go for it, buddy. Yeah, so you can see completely missing zone 1, just barely getting to the edge of outside zone 2. A lot of corrections. You can see that the angle's not smooth from the lead driver there in that sense, Takaki. But chase driver kind of keeping it together, although not close. But following a lead like that, can't really be too worried about that.
Let's make it official here. Kazuya Matsukawa is going to get the unanimous victory. Car 99 moves on to the top 16. All right, we've just been fed some information. We are now halfway through the top 32. We're going to take a 3-minute and 30-second commercial break, Ryan Lantain.
Set your watches, everyone.
That's what I was told. We're very precise around here in Formula Drift Japan. So we'll take that quick break. We'll come back to the G-Shock Presents Formula Drift Japan Round 1 here at Suzuka Twin Circuit.
実証雨に強いタイヤ。横浜は濡れた路面であなたの想像以上に止まる止まる止まる。日本最高グレードのウェット性能 A をあなたの車に。雨に強いタイヤといえば
横浜。
革新のカーボンベゼル。Bluetooth 搭載 G-SHOCK カシオ。
The brightness called brilliant. Valenti.
Quality of Japanese craftsmanship. Grid.
What's up, guys? It's Frederick Gaspo, and I use RSR suspension on all my drift cars. I love RSR. Iyo RSR Ichiban.
Kenda。
伝統と革新、小倉クラッチのテクノロジーを凝縮。チャンピオンを取るためのクラッチ。小倉レーシングクラッチ ORC。
モティ。
The brightness called brilliant, blinding and vivid. Valenti.
All right, and we're back here at the G-SHOCK Presents Formula Drift Japan, Round 1, Suzuka Twin Circuit. See the drivers in our makeshift burnout box back there. We will have our number 2 qualified driver going up next, and that's him in the burnout box. That's Kanta Yanaguira versus Tetsuya Kume, the 31st place driver in qualifying yesterday. Really seeing some strong progression from Kanta Yanaguira, Ryan. The young driver was holding that number 1 spot until Andrew Gray swooped it away with a 97. So he will be heading to the start line in the lead position here. He's made some cosmetic changes to the vehicle. I like the approach this year. What is the significance of the American flag on the door? Any insight there?
They've always had that on there. I'm not sure if it's a marketing ploy, you know,
like,
because Top Tool.
Let me get some money to go to the States, son.
Well, Top Tool sells. I was looking at. They have an ad in the event. I guess the event brochure, and you can see that they sell in North America. So maybe it's a little tie-in for that. But right now we have 2 S chassis going up against each other here. One's an S13, one's an S14. Both SR20 powered, which is kind of cool. And this one from Tetsuya Kume, I'm told, has a stock transmission in it. So this is real street style stuff right now. Back to the basics. SR20, S chassis. So this should be a lot of fun to watch as they are well matched that way. Clearly not very well matched in terms of qualifying position, 2nd and 31st, but let's see what they can put together.
All right, here we go. Kanta Yanaguida takes the lead, already blasting off the front straight. Nice initiation into that zone. Perfectly times it at outside zone 2. Separation here from Tetsuya Kume, not able to hold ground, and you're seeing the difference here between what you mentioned, Ryan, a professional drift vehicle and more of a streetable car here. Big separation, and for Kanta Yanaguida, it was still a very high-risk run, not cutting the line and doing a good job in the lead position.
Yeah, that initiation was fantastic. Look at that, right on the wall, tire right on the outside line of outside zone outside zone number 2. Great job of staying tight there before inside clip 1, not going wide, and getting close to inside clip number 2 as well. Unfortunately, just because of the distance between both drivers, we don't really have a great view from what the chase driver was doing because they were so far back.
There is the big boss man from Top Tool, always a presence here. Looks like he is spotting for the young driver this weekend, giving him some advice. We are starting to see a lot more sophistication in the spotting here in FD Japan. We're standing a little bit to the left of the spotter stand, which has become quite a popular place for spotters to communicate with their drivers. Here we go, Tetsuya Kume now taking the lead position. Let's see the approach here from Kanta Yanaguida. He snaps to the initiation right at the edge. E-brake pull does fill that second outside zone. So good job there by Kume. But Yanaguida trying not to let him get away. He's going to attack here on this last section of the course, pushing through the finish line. And clearly, Yanaguida had the better of the chases there. I have to imagine his lead is going to hold up as well.
Yeah, you can see that maybe the chase driver here, Kume, on the first run when he was chasing, maybe it wasn't a lack of power, maybe it was just a poor start, because he's able to put together a good lead run that Yanaguida is working to have to keep up to. You can see here on transition, he's having to stay hard on throttle there. It's not like he's having to hold back a little bit because of a lack of power from Kume. So good drive from both of them, but Yanaguida just did a better job in the lead and the chase of being more accurate, more precise, following him better, and especially on that lead run, throwing it right to the wall, pretty much 90 degrees with the wall at outside zone 1, and doing a great job in outside zone 2.
So Kanta Yanaguida will take the win here off of Tetsuya Kume, and we will quickly move on to our next battle. First driver at the start line is Kazuki Hayashi, 15th place in qualifying yesterday. He's going to be going up against Tadahiro Fukada in that 18th spot. Fukada back in the burnout box. Struggled a little bit more than we regularly see from him. Has been a strong competitor in Formula Drift Japan. And let's see if he can pull it together here.
That's a mean-looking spotter right there.
Yeah, no games.
So we have a GT86 powered by the EJ25, the stock engine that comes in that car, which is turbo, of course, and then Fukada is driving a 2JZ-powered JZX 100 Mark II. A lot of JZXs, but for good reason. They're awesome chassis, a lot of fun to drive. Let's see what they can put together here.
Hayashi gets a good jump out of the gate, already some separation, and blowing away from Fukada. Fukada has to opt for a late initiation to try to close the door. So we're seeing a little bit of this as Hayashi keeps that gap a little bit long on that second inside clip, but it was really about the jump out of the gate, or the lack thereof, from Fukada on this first run.
Yeah, maybe he misjudged how much power that little GT86 makes, but you can see here a great amount of separation before initiation. And as you said, he did not have the best initiation in the chase position there. Fukada is really trying to massage the car to angle slowly, trying to maintain the momentum, but Hayashi in the lead position here is just flying through the course. Not really inaccurate, I'd say. He missed a couple of spots on the track there, but I don't think it was trying to get away. He's definitely going much faster than Fukada. As you can see there, could have been closer on outside zone 1, is in the box for some of, maybe the majority of outside zone 2, you can say. Kind of that late apex on inside clip 1, and Could have been a little tighter on inside clip 2, but for the most part, he has angle. He's doing what he's supposed to do for the most part in the lead position, just making a couple of compromises here and there.
All right, so the last and final opportunity here for Tadahiro Fukada to try to make an impression on the judges and get some back here. Hayashi aggressively getting out of the gate early, and Fukada, the pressure is on. Hayashi sticking with him on initiation. Fukada does get to that second outside zone after a pretty nice initiation, but you can see Hayashi really battling through the smoke line and staying close to Fukada, and a pretty one-sided battle there overall after whatever happened, either not getting out of the gate or just not able to keep up. Tadahiro Fukada not able to push the pace here against Hayashi, Ryan.
Yeah, you can see at initiation, he does an okay job in outside zone 1, but he slows down significantly in the lead position going to outside zone 2 with a lot of handbrake pulls. He's on a great tight line there going to inside clip 1, but you have to imagine it's probably because of the big slowdown at outside zone 2. And Hayashi's right there with him all the way through the run, so not letting him get away. And I think Hayashi did a better job overall here in this tandem battle.
Next group of cars being let out is seeing Koichi Yamashita, and it is a unanimous victory there for Kazuki Hayashi, car number 33. Spotter really happy with the performance. So obviously here in this very, very small venue relative to some of the other tracks that fans may be used to, we have all the drivers in the top 32 in their pit, and then you move them out in groups of 4 to 6. So Koichi Yamashita came on screen there for a second. He's going to be our next driver up against Shinichiro Saito, the other Saito. Yamashita coming in at the 7th place qualification yesterday. Shinichiro Saito, number 26. So cruising right along here, Ryan, the top 16 starting to stack up pretty strongly. What will happen is we'll finish up the top 32. We'll have the traditional halftime break, and then we'll come back here for the succession of this first round of the G-Shock Presents Formula Drift Japan. A pretty strong and fun weekend so far, and we still have the main action ahead of us, including this driver that's going to be swinging out in front of us right here. And fans may have got a quick shot of it.
I love how every time a new driver comes out on track, they come right in front of the judges. He put on his little flashing headlights that he has on there, gave us a wave, and then they go on back to the back of the course.
Was it a wave like, acknowledge me, or I'm watching you?
I'm not sure.
Or hi, or friendly.
Well, actually, it seems like a respect thing here with all the drivers. Not all, but the majority of the drivers, as they come by the front of the judging tower here, they'll slow down a little bit, they'll give a little wave, and then they'll go on.
So you haven't gotten any middle fingers yet?
No, that's what I mean. It seems like a very respectful hellos. Not that the drivers in the U.S. aren't respectful, but they're definitely not going to come out in front of the tower here and give a wave and say hi.
Koichi Yamashita, Shinichiro Saito. Our next battle on hand here. Yamashita, e-brake pull into outside zone 2. Saito closing the door, but Yamashita, the veteran, as well as Saito, it looks like Yamashita got the better of the run, at least in the lead position there. Let's take a look at it one more time, Ryan. We saw a little bit of separation towards the end. Let's break it down.
Yeah, you're looking at a difference between a 90 in qualifying yesterday from Yamashita and a 78 from Saito, and you can see that Yamashita is doing a good job here in the lead position of putting his car in the right place, outside zone 1 to outside zone 2. You can see he's on that tighter line coming into inside clip 1, which is preferred, and then he's a little bit off of inside clip 2, but for the most part, Yamashita is putting his car in the right place. Yamashita last season finished in 5th overall and had some pretty great battles last year, a couple of controversial ones as well, but he's definitely, like you said, a veteran of the sport overall and of FT Japan specifically as well.
With Minowa specifically, I think he had some good back and forth battles.
Definitely,
right?
yeah.
Ebisu was a notable one.
Yeah, I think there was a pretty good battle in Okibuki as well, where may have been controversial, but it was fun to watch. It was a pretty great battle.
All right, so here we go, the second half of the battle. Shinichiro Saito taking the lead against Koichi Yamashita. Here comes Yamashita. Saito back on throttle after a knee brake pull. Yamashita known for aggressive chasing, and you can see it here. Backs off as he tries to stick it back in. Saito not looking too shabby out front, but do the scales shift in the direction of Yamashita on this battle here on the right-hand side of the bracket. Ryan, let's get a little bit of insight here on run number 2.
As they came right in front of the judges' tire here, you could see Yamashita working the wheel, trying to stay close to Saito in the lead position. Saito does a good job of getting to outside zone 2. Look at Yamashita, though, right there with him, being that shadow. The transition there, pretty well timed as well. Doing a good job of staying in proximity and mimicking what that lead driver is doing. Let's see if this driver waves as he goes by. Yep, another wave. Love it. So here's the drone shot. As you can see, Yamashita's nice and close, mimicking pretty well, doing his best to match that angle and also the line. You can see him tightening up there to inside clip number 1, and a nice, a little bit of space between the lead and the chase there at inside clip 2, but not too bad.
Let's make it official here. Shinichiro Saito versus Koichi Yamashita. Car number 8 moves on unanimously, and Ryan, you were mentioning the other driver waving to you. The fans didn't get a chance to see what we were seeing, but that was Katsuhiro Ueo out for his battle. We'll see him up here after this next battle, which is going to pit Yoshitaka Ogane versus Jin Harino, number 10 and 23 qualifier respectively. Both drivers very well known in the FD Japan series.
Yeah, Harino was not with us last season. Previous seasons he was, but he doesn't have a finishing rank from last year just because he did not compete with us last season. So we've got that 3-rotor 20B FD3S up against a 2JZ powered S15. Qualifying scores, Ogane had an 88 in qualifying, his highest score, and Harino had an 80. So not a huge spread there in qualifying scores. Let's see what they can put together here in tandem battle.
Let's do it. Ogane out front, blasting down the front straight, midline approach, snaps it to the wall, comes up short on outside zone 1, and a big e-brake pull there. Orino takes advantage of the wide sweeping line as Ogane a bit back on throttle here. Oh no. And a big mistake there by Orino in the chase position as he transitioned from inside clip 1 to inside clip 2. He's on a way tight line. Ryan, tell us what happened there.
He's going to be mad at himself there because he was in a great position from the initiation all the way up until that point. You can look here at Ogane, really misses outside zone 1, does not do a great job on outside zone 2 either, but you can see Harino's right there with him, matching that line, matching that angle. Transition was really good there. He just ended up way on the inside, unfortunately. Dropped a tire, hit that inside clip, and had a definite bobble in the angle of the car as that happened as well. So it's going to be a big deduction for him, as we do comparisons chase to chase. Of course, not deduction point-wise, but we'll see what Ogane is able to do in his chase run now, if he makes any mistakes or makes any corrections. So it's definitely going to be held against Harino as we go to this next part of the battle. We have replaced the inside clip marker, it looks like, and we should be ready to start shortly.
All right, switching things up here as Orino will go to the lead position and Ogane will chase him down. We've seen the first part of this 2-lap battle. Orino midline out to the wall. He's going to come up short on outside zone 1 as well. Really odd positioning on the track and a lot of mistakes here with Ogane having to quickly respond to try to make adjustments to the lead driver. They sweep through that final section of turns. Ogane was able to close the door towards that last inside clip, but Ryan, a really odd initiation there from Harino.
It was not great from either driver, unfortunately. You can see that Ogane is way on the inside after that. Harino is missing a lot of the zones that he should be in. Not the prettiest, Ryan, unfortunately. Hopefully we have an overhead view of this, and we do, thankfully. So let's look at this drone view. You can see Harino misses outside zone 1 entirely. Kind of gets close to 2, but in the chase position, you've got Ogane trying to maintain that proximity and make it through the course.
So a tough one there because of the mistakes not necessarily what you want to get out of a head-to-head matchup. And so the judges faced with a decision here between Yoshitaka Ogane and Jin Harino.
So I chose Ogane, I'm going to tell you right now, based on the fact that he did a better lead run, and in his chase position, I think he was influenced heavily by the mistake that Harino made at outside zone 1. And we put a lot of emphasis on what the lead driver is supposed to do throughout the course, and we tell them repeatedly, if the lead driver makes a mistake that causes the chase driver to make a mistake, that lead driver is going to be held responsible for not only his own mistake, but also the error that he has forced upon the chase driver. So I think that Harino made a pretty big mistake on his own in the chase position by dropping a tire at inside clip 2 and then straightening up and kind of making that error. But in the chase position that Ogane was put in, right off of the bat at initiation, Ogane was not given a good opportunity to put together a good chase.
All right, so moving on to our next battle, and setting this one up is probably the most interesting in the top 32, because the qualifying position for Kazuya Iizuka is not typical. And we are underway. We'll get more into it. Look at that initiation right there by Katsuhiro Ueo. Iizuka battling, taking that inside line, but Ueo blasting out of that corner. Oh no, he's going off.
Yep. So he went a tire or 2 off at inside clip 2 and then went off the course before the finish line.
Let's take a look at this again. I wanted to set this up. I wanted to say that Iizuka typically is one of our higher top qualifier drivers. He ended up in a 30 in the new vehicle, and so he's going up against Ueo, who looks just incredible this weekend.
Yeah, Ueo had a great initiation, but did not get all the way out to outside zone 2. You can see that Ueo is definitely on throttle, but right here is where we have opposite drift and then 4 wheels off essentially for the chase driver, Iizuka. Let's watch it from the overhead again. You can watch Ueo's always got a great initiation. Could have been snappier there. I think his qualifying ones were definitely better than that. Missed outside zone 2. You can see Iizuka is working hard, making quite a few mistakes in the chase position until he makes the ultimate one right there, and then goes 2 tires off right over the finish line. So
didn't really have the forward bite coming out of the turn over here to the right-hand side, as he proximity from outside zone 2 into that section before inside clip 1, but then some good separation, and as you said, that mistake that will probably end up very regretful here, because we know that Ueo is a excellent chase driver and not likely to make many mistakes, especially knowing that it's probably an incomplete from your guys' perspective.
Oh, what's going on? Making him back up. He's going to
competition timeout.
Do we call a CTO on this one, maybe? Waiting to hear from Kevin Wells as to what's going on. So because he went off course there at the finish line, there's a lot of, I believe because of the way the car is built, kind of in a DTM style, the way that the body's made underneath, a lot of the debris from the grass area there got tucked up inside under the car, and you can see them actually sweeping at the start line because so much stuff is coming out from underneath the car. They're making him go to the back of the course just to shake some of that stuff out. And you can see him coming back to the start line now, hopefully with a lot less of that stuff accumulated underneath the vehicle.
All right, so that call on us and the track staff, make sure that we get a clean run here. See that same kind of situation, but much more extreme when you go into the kiddie litter at Road Atlanta, which you got to see a lot of this past weekend.
This has definitely been our loudest battle. I'm glad that we have headsets on, so we're not getting our ears blasted out as they go by, but that V8 and also Ueo's car, a lot of popping and banging from that thing, so very, very loud.
Iizuka takes the lead, blasting. Ueo not wanting to let him get away. Good initiation there. Oh boy, right into that second outside zone is Iizuka putting up a fight. Here comes Ueo trying to close the door through the smoke line, transitioning to the final inside clip, surging forward there, and even with the noticeable big, most likely an incomplete on the lead, on the chase run by Iizuka, the pressure was still maintained by Katsuhiro Ueo.
Great job by Iizuka. You can see the progression with him in this car this weekend. Started off in practice early on, way inside, not really able to fill the zones, but gradually he's made his way out to very confident driving, filling the outside zone 1 and that really tricky outside zone 2 with a car that has some pretty intricate body parts, let's say. and did a great job there in the lead. But unfortunately, getting that incomplete on his first run puts him at a huge disadvantage. You can see low angle there as he approaches inside clip 1, but Ueo's right next to him, putting on the pressure, not letting him get away at all. So I believe it'll probably go the way of Ueo on this one, just because of Iizuka's mistake that he made in the chase. But had he not made that mistake, that would have been a very tight battle to judge for sure. So good for him.
Katsuhiro Ueo gets the victory there, Ryan, and it is unanimous. And I think you're right. I think it is a moral victory, a psychological victory for Iizuka overall, just to come out and prove that the car can be competitive. It's quick, it's fast. Just needs to clean up a few little things, and we almost didn't see him in competition. He missed his first run in qualifying yesterday due to some mechanical problems. Came back out, and that's one of the reasons why he was seated so low in qualifying. But we did see some good runs from him. I think the potential is there, and there's a lot of positives to take out of the maiden voyage of that vehicle in Formula Drift Japan.
You're right. He has to see this as a win this weekend. Despite not making it through to the top 16, that car progressed massively from the first practice session until now. So that's great. They know the car works. They know that he can push the car to its limits, go to the edge of the track here, which is a super tricky spot to fill properly. And he's definitely getting more confident with it. So we'll see him again at round 2 in Ebisu, I'm sure. And he will be... by then he'll be even more confident in the car, I assume, and they'll have all the little bugs worked out of it. But good for him for getting that thing to where it is.
All right, so 3 battles remain in the top 32. Our next battle up is Yuji Saito and Junji Yamamoto, 2 drivers that qualified close to each other, number 14 and 19. Here we go. Saito taking the lead. Initiates, slow rolls it, misses outside zone 1, but gets into outside zone 2. Oh, and we see Yamamoto shuts it down, has to reinitiate the vehicle, and that'll be a big mistake from him in the chase position, and shuts it down again. Looks like the vehicle is not prepped and ready to go.
Yeah, he's usually driving an RX-7, an FD3S, the same kind of color with the white wheels. So it was kind of weird to see him in this car this round. But looking at the initiation from Saito, not that Saito, but another Saito, did miss outside zone 1, managed to get his tire in outside zone 2 pretty well. And then in the chase position there, unfortunately, Yamamoto making some significant mistakes on a couple of occasions. So he's definitely going to be saddled with an incomplete going into the next run of this battle. So from the drone area here, you can see that Saito slow to angle, not really getting to zone 1 at all. Okay on zone 2, actually gets into that box. Lowish angle by inside clip 1 and pretty good through inside clip 2. But unfortunately, Yamamoto couldn't take advantage of those errors as straightened up multiple times, and we'll get an incomplete for that.
Back to the line are both drivers for the second half of this battle. Yamamoto this time takes the lead. There's been a bit of struggling in the vehicle, and again, we're not used to seeing him drive that car. It was not the car that was on the registration, so perhaps there's a story there. Yamamoto, big flick, but a long e-brake pull comes up short on outside zone 2. Car seems to be firing well, but unfortunately with that mistake in run number 1, Saito really just needs to cross the finish line without an incomplete, and he would get the victory. So Ryan, let's take a look again. The second battle, it would be a really big mistake required of Saito in order to force a lead comparison here.
You're right.
So let's take a look.
Nice snappy initiation from Yamamoto, but unfortunately wasn't able to fill outside zone 2. Looked like he maybe flicked a little too hard there and wasn't able to get the car to float out to the zone like he had hoped. But Saito in the chase position doing a good job of matching what was going on in the lead. There we go. Oh, Tsunaga comes to almost a full stop and gives us a wave. How polite of him.
There it is, the official results coming in for car number 23. Unanimous decision here from all 3 judges. And we will go ahead and stage our next pair. A driver that should be familiar to many of you hardcore fans of FDJ, but also that have followed the series from the inaugural Pro 2 year. Shang Nian, a Singaporean driver who had a 4th place finish last year in the championship, a win at Fuji against his teammate, Andrew Gray, and has been one of the more fun drivers to watch develop over the years. and has become quite a strong driver in his own right. He's going to be taking on Yuichi Amagai. Amagai just making it into qualifying yesterday, coming in the 27th position. He is driving that S15 you see coming up to the line here. Beautiful looking vehicle. He will be chasing down Nien.
Yeah, Nien used to be pretty wild. He took a lot of chances, threw the car into some crazy situations, sometimes came through, sometimes didn't. But in the last couple of seasons, we've seen him really tighten things up, much more predictable now, much more consistent, able to put together some great leads and put the pressure on in the chase, which, like you said, got him into the 4th place overall finish last season.
Shang is very fast. Amagai gets a jump out. Shang, early initiation. Wow, big e-brake pull, and it does not have the momentum to push him out to outside zone 2. So a mistake there by Shang, but unfortunately, Amagai was not able to anticipate it. He shot wide, and then we had some separation there. So an opportunity for both drivers here in run number 2, Ryan, as we see Shang not able to complete outside zone 2 after the initiation.
Yeah, I'd have to put a lot of the blame on Nien for this one, unfortunately. You can see he initiates, misses entirely outside zone 1, outside zone 2 as well. In that situation, if you put yourself into Amagai's driver's seat right there, it's very difficult to anticipate that level of error from the lead driver, especially when you expect somebody like Nien to be putting together those high-scoring runs like he did in qualifying. His qualifying score was 90. There's no way that would be anywhere near a 90 in qualifying right now. So Nien is definitely not fulfilling his part of the bargain as a lead driver. He's definitely would have been in the maybe 60s, that score for that run, just because of the lack of fulfillment of outside zone 1 or 2. Outside zone 2 yesterday for the line was worth 15 points. And I was not the line judge, but I would say that in that sense, looking at what Nien did there, missing zone 1 and 2, I'm pretty sure Robbie would have gave him some pretty low scores right there. So that is nowhere near what we're looking for in the lead position from Nien, and it's kind of hard to fault Amagai in the chase position for making those errors.
All right, so a bit of analysis there from Ryan Lantane, and now we will finish up this battle here, or at least finish up this run. Amagai in the lead position, heading down. Nien keeping it tight. Amagai initiates. He also misses outside zone 1, a bit better on outside zone 2, but Shang has got the proximity here. Way a wide swing by Amagai. And he allows Nien to attack, but Nien makes a big mistake right before inside clip number 1, and that may be too big of a mistake collectively between those two runs, even though Amagai had that wide swing after outside zone 2 and missed outside zone 1.
Yeah, Amagai was off 1. Not as bad as Nien was, and he definitely did a better job on outside zone 2, but he did overshoot. He took that super wide line. You can see he's way wide there on driver's right. Missed inside clip 1, but right there, what does Nien do? Understeers, goes to a opposite drift, in that area, and definitely going to be holding that against Nien pretty significantly there. So Nien's going to have to clean things up. You know, he did great in qualifying yesterday, getting himself into 6th position, but he's not really pulling it through to the tandem side of things where it really counts right now.
Not what we're used to seeing from Shang Nien, and we're seeing the scores drop. It is a unanimous result. All 3 judges going in the direction of Yuichi Amagai. He will move on into the top 16. All right, Ryan, our final battle of the top 32 is staged. Just remember, for the fans watching at home, we have a halftime break, and then we come back out for the top 16, starting off with opening ceremonies and then right into the battles. And our final battle of the afternoon is an exciting one that I am looking forward to, is Naoto Suinaga versus Kazuhiro Kubo. Suinaga looked to be one of the more aggressive drivers yesterday in practice and qualifying. He just was outside the top 10 in his qualification, but certainly no lack of vehicle control and aggressiveness, which I think is what we have all come to expect. Kazuhiro Kubo, on the other hand, qualified 22nd, and we don't have a lot of background information on him. What do you got over there?
He finished 58th last season. He must have only done one event. Mr. Suinaga also did one event and finished around 47th. So these guys, not a lot of experience in FD Japan.
Suinaga, big snap. Nice job on outside zone 1. Gets into outside zone 2 a little bit late. Kubo trying to chase him down here, but Suinaga blasting through that inside clip. He tightened up the angle a little bit through inside clip 1, but you can see just how aggressive he is. He was flying into that initiation. And let's take a closer look here at run number 1.
Suinaga driving that Kazama Auto car, not the car that we're used to seeing him in since he's a Team Orange driver, but very comfortable in that car right out of the gate. Kind of missed outside zone 2, got into it a little bit late, overshot a little bit there on inside clip 1, but managed to get pretty solid through inside clip 2. He's one of those tricky drivers. He's very, very capable behind the wheel, very experienced, many, many years of competing in D1, Formula Drift Japan. He has done intermittently throughout the years, never really a full season commitment, but he's one that you got to be careful with because he is able to put that car into some interesting positions at some crazy speeds that you wouldn't expect the car to be able to do. I've chased him around Ebisu a few times, and he's taught me tons, just how to attack a course, what angle to use where, how to be very efficient with everything that he's doing. So he's great tradecraft behind the wheel.
Second run here. Wow, Kubo snappy but misses outside zone 1. Suinaga trying to make him pay for it here as he keeps it really close through inside clip 1 after that turn. Snappy transition back around, but Suinaga catches it right in the pocket. And it looks like this will be an easy result for you guys. Let's take a look at it one more time and give us your thoughts on this final run.
Kubo did a good job getting up to the initiation point and then kind of left it all on the table there, unfortunately. Could have done better here. Missed outside zone 1 there. I love the flick, but he just wasn't able to fulfill outside zone 1 and 2, unfortunately. So what looked like it was going to be really strong off the start kind of fell flat a little bit on the first important zones. Did pretty good through inside clip 1 and 2, but the important parts, he left a lot on the table there. He didn't really go to the full potential, let's say, in those two areas. On the other hand, Suinaga in the chase position took advantage of that, put himself in the exact position he should have been, and you can see there the mimic, the transition, the positioning right in the pocket. Great job by Suinaga of taking advantage of those errors from Kubo.
And here the judges all score the result the same. It is Naoto Suinaga, car number 26, our final driver, moving on into the top 16. Ryan, a good top 32 overall. We saw some great battles there, really setting up some strong action for the top 16. Any favorites for you going into the halftime break as we get set for the top 16?
Well, if you look at drivers that we know can do well, that can put on some really great runs, Masuyama and Minowa being up against each other there in the top 16, that's going to definitely be exciting. Gray and Hara is going to be a good one for sure. Yanaguira and Hayashi. We've got some great names here, Ueo and Saito. So we've got some good opportunities here for some pretty spectacular battles coming up, and it's only going to get better as we go from 16 to 8 and down to the finals.
All right, folks, if you're looking for the live stream times, you can find them on the Formula Drift and Formula Drift Japan Instagram and social media pages. It is about an hour-and-a-half break. We'll be back out here pretty shortly. We'll start streaming a few minutes before the opening ceremonies. In the meantime, thank you for joining us wherever you are across the world. We will be back after the halftime, and there we are for our top 16 lineup. Some great battles here, and we will take this break and be right back for the top 16.
実証雨に強いタイヤ。横浜は濡れた路面であなたの想像以上に止まる止まる止まる。日本最高グレードのウェット性能 A をあなたの車に。雨に強い